Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the Caribbean. It is Thursday evening, November 24th, 2022. Now, before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Alright, so let's take a look at the significant features across the Western Atlantic this evening. We see that we still have a cold front affecting portions of the eastern United States, a cold front stretching all the way from the northeastern portions of the Atlantic all the way down, with its tail end affecting portions of the northern portions of the Bahamas. And if we actually look back at these first satellite images that we showed, you can actually see this cold front as well as this cold front here across the United States that we're just seeing on the significant feature map. Alright, so let's have a look at what happened across Jamaica today. First of all, remember that we made a forecast yesterday according to our YouTube page. We didn't see anything being posted on Twitter because there was disagreement on the models. Remember, the GFS and the Euro were having a battle. The GFS was showing more rainfall for eastern Jamaica. The Euro wasn't so robust with the rainfall. So let's see which one of them won, shall we? We can actually see the satellite images showing rainfall across portions of maybe Portland and especially across portions of St. Elizabeth during the afternoon. When you put it into motion, we can actually see those clouds bringing those isolated showers. And when we look at the Doppler radar images, we can see where that rainfall band came off southwestern St. Elizabeth. So portions of those areas got some rainfall. We even got some reports from persons living in those areas as well. All right. So let us have a look at the forecast for tomorrow, shall we? We see that we have an easterly flow of winds across the island tomorrow, right here, with more of an east-northeasterly flow across portions of northern Jamaica and east-southeasterly flow across portions of southern Jamaica. What does the GFS show for tomorrow? Something similar. Easterlies across the island, and we have the air piling up across portions of the inland areas of central and western Jamaica, which means that if anything should develop during the afternoon, it would be along inland areas. And with the wind shear, according to the wind shear map from the European model, coming in from the north across the island, there's a chance that some of this afternoon convection could spill into southern parishes. So sections of maybe Saint Andrew, Kingston, Saint Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, Saint Elizabeth, and over maybe even Saint Thomas. Either way, we have some rain to get tomorrow, especially along the south coast, if not overcast skies, according to the wind shear map from both the Euro and the GFS. Let's see what the precipitation forecast shows. We see that we have some rainfall to receive 3 a.m. according to the Euro. Same thing on the GFS on northern Jamaica, Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne, Trelawney, St. James, maybe even spilling into portions of Hanover. That's according to the GFS model. That's 3 o'clock. Then what about the next hour? Let's talk about 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock on the Euro. At 6 o'clock, we see where we have some rainfall still affecting portions of northern Jamaica. That's on the Euro. GFS showing the same thing. Let's talk about briefly the rainfall forecast for the afternoon. We see that at 3 p.m. we have some more rainfall to receive according to the Euro model. What does the GFS show? Still getting some amount of rainfall across portions of eastern, central, and western parishes, just like what the Euro is showing. So we have, more agreement for tomorrow's forecast than we had yesterday. So the chances of it actually happening are high. So ensure that you guys, bring your umbrella with you. Looks like sections of most parishes might get in on some of the rainfall. And if we actually look at the accumulated precipitation from the Euro, we see where there's more of a bias towards northern Jamaica. If we look on this map, we see where it's concentrated. Anything from 0.1 to, let's say, almost 0.5 inches of rainfall could fall. On the GFS, it's more robust. We see that most of these northern parishes could receive some rainfall. So anywhere, same thing, from 0.1 to almost 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. So it makes sense that our workers here with the Jamaica made the prediction, said that the ECMWF and GFS supercomputer models are in agreement that sections of northern Jamaica could receive rainfall early on the morning of Friday, November 25th, 2022, also affecting sections of central and western Jamaica on Friday afternoon. Let's watch what happened. And basically, these same images that were just shown from the website are what is being displayed here. Alright, so that's it for the weather across Jamaica. Let's talk briefly about the forecast across the entire Atlantic, shall we? According to the U.S. National Hurricane Center's page, there's no tropical cyclone activity expected across the entire Atlantic for the next 5 days. Let's hope it stays that way, considering that we only have 6 more days left in the hurricane season. Let's take back a look at the view across the Atlantic, stretching into the Caribbean. Let's reload that quickly. All right, so we see that we have those cold fronts that we mentioned earlier. Now we have some patches of low-level clouds passing across the central and southern Caribbean, south of Jamaica, south of Hispaniola. We have a lot of clouds across portions of the southeastern Caribbean. And if we actually take a look at the Doppler radar images, we can actually see that rainfall. We know that the satellite images show cloud. The radar images show where it's actually raining. So we can actually see that rainfall. If you look back at the satellite images, we can see even some clouds affecting portions of Belize and Mexico. Look back at the radar, we see that rainfall there according to the Belize radar. We see some rainfall east of Tobago and Trinidad. And the thing is, they still have some more rainfall to get. This map is actually showing the next 24 hours from now all the way up to 10 p.m. This is where all the rainfall is expected. Look at that rainfall across portions of the southeastern Caribbean. A lot of rain. We still have a lot of rain coming in to portions of the southern Caribbean. Why is that? We still have a lot of high pressure here, and that's suppressing and pushing everything down into the southern Caribbean. That's the GFS. That's the Euro, sorry. And we're basically seeing the same thing on the GFS. It's more of a bias towards the southern Caribbean, stretching all the way from Trinidad and Tobago all the way down into Nicaragua. Alright, let's take a brief look at the next 120 hours on the Euro, shall we? So we see where we don't have much, we don't have any areas of spin, we don't have a lot of rainfall across portions of the Greater Antilles. It's more biased towards the southern Caribbean, stretching all the way from the eastern Caribbean to the western Caribbean, affecting portions of northern South America as well as Central America. Same thing on the GFS when we actually move over the next 120 hours, just like what the U.S. National Hurricane Center does. The next 5 days is the focus, all the rainfall affecting portions of southern Caribbean. And if we actually look at the accumulated precipitation forecast, we see where all that rainfall is accumulated. So anywhere from 0.1 to up into the purples, maybe even up to 5 inches of rainfall, especially across portions of Venezuela. Okay? And Trinidad and Tobago. That's according to the Euro. What does the GFS show? Similar things. And we know when there's consensus like this, the chances are high that it might actually happen. Alright, so let's take a brief look at what the Climate Prediction Center is showing as well. We see where we have some amount of rainfall. Let's look at this portion of the map. That's going to be affecting portions of the Caribbean, Western Caribbean more specifically, around November 30th to December 6th. We don't have much going on across the rest of the Atlantic. We see some browns, and if we actually look back at the key, the brown represents below normal rainfall. So as expected, the hurricane season is shutting down, so we'll have less rainfall going into the beginning of the dry season. Look at the following week, December 7th to the 13th. Rainfall, Western Caribbean into the Bahamas. It reminds us of that same image that I showed of maybe the CANSIPS and the CFS, the climate forecast system that was showing the prediction for December. More than likely the Western Caribbean, Central America, Cuba, the Bahamas getting in on some of that rainfall, maybe even spilling into portions of Jamaica. We'll see what actually unfolds. Alright, so here's another person of interest that you guys need to follow on Twitter if you're not already doing so. This is Philip Klusbach. He's a meteorologist at Colorado State University, and if you guys remember, Colorado State University is one of those main areas that made predictions about what the hurricane season would have been like. And remember, they made a prediction that this would have been above average. Well, he states that the university will release its 2022 Atlantic season hurricane forecast verification at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday next week. Overall, the season ended up near average, somewhat less active than forecast by CSU. So he's going to explain why that was, give more details as to why the hurricane season wasn't as robust as it was predicted, as well as some other beneficial information. And I'll be sure to keep you all posted. Please ensure that you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all for watching. Do take care. Bye bye now.